You think you choose what to watch on Netflix. You are wrong. The movies you see on your home screen are not there by accident or popularity. They are the result of a psychological trap designed to keep your eyes glued to the glass until 3 in the morning. By the end of this story, you will understand exactly how they hacked your brain and why your suggested for you list looks nothing like your neighbors. Back in the late 90s, the world of entertainment was a physical struggle. Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph weren't trying to build a digital drug back then. They just wanted to solve a simple problem of logistics and late fees. The mindset was one of pure frustration with the status quo of physical retail. It felt inevitable that the internet would eventually handle entertainment, but at the time, everyone thought the value was in the mail order system. The market believed that as long as the discs arrived on time, the business was safe. In reality, the mailing system was just a Trojan horse for something much deeper. There was one subtle hint early on that something was off. The company started obsessing over data that seemed totally irrelevant to shipping movies. They weren't just tracking if a DVD arrived. They were tracking how long it sat on your shelf before you sent it back. They were looking for patterns in the noise, but they didn't realize that those patterns would eventually take on a life of their own. This data obsession was about to lead them into a gamble that could have destroyed the company before it ever reached your laptop. If you find yourself coming back to these deep dives into how the world's biggest companies actually work, you might want to join our community of curious minds. We look past the headlines to find the real mechanics of business, and having you subscribed ensures you never miss the next investigation into the hidden forces shaping our lives. The turning point came when Netflix realized they had a massive problem with human honesty. Inside the office, the data scientists were seeing a strange disconnect. Users were filling their queues with highbrow documentaries and historical dramas. They were telling the system they wanted to be smarter and more cultured. But when it came time to actually press play, those same users were choosing low-budget comedies and mindless action flicks. Outsiders thought Netflix was succeeding because they were giving people what they asked for. The truth was the exact opposite. Netflix realized that if they listened to what people said, the company would die. People lie to themselves about their tastes. The algorithm had to learn to ignore your words and watch your heart rate. This moment locked the company into a path where they began to prioritize engagement over quality. They weren't just a movie library anymore. They were becoming a feedback loop designed to bypass your conscious mind and speak directly to your impulses. This shift was brilliant, but it was also incredibly risky because it meant betting against the very users they were trying to serve. To make this work, they had to break down every single movie into thousands of tiny data points. This is what they call tagging. They hired people to sit in rooms and categorize every scene by mood, visual tone, and even the level of romance. The logic was that if they could map the DNA of a movie, they could predict the exact moment your brain would crave a specific feeling. It looked smart in the moment because it allowed them to suggest things you never would have searched for. The assumption was that humans have consistent taste profiles. But that assumption failed when they realized that taste changes based on the time of day and the day of the week. You are a different person on a Tuesday morning than you are on a Saturday night. So, they had to make the algorithm even more aggressive. They started changing the artwork you see on the home screen. If you like romantic movies, they show you the lead actors looking into each other's eyes. If you like action, they show you an explosion from that same movie. They are literally A/B testing your subconscious in real time. Every thumbnail you see is a different hook, waiting to see which one your brain bites. But as the machine got smarter, it started making decisions that the founders themselves couldn't explain. I have to ask, do you think this kind of psychological profiling is a fair trade for good entertainment, or is it a step too far? Does it bother you that a machine might know your Friday night mood better than your best friend? Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt like Netflix was reading your mind. When they looked at the results, the growth was staggering. The numbers felt like a rocket ship in the early 2010s. But behind the massive subscriber count, there were hidden losses. That would have terrified a normal business. They were spending billions of dollars on content just to keep people from hitting the cancel button for one more month. Investors kept saying yes because the retention rates were unlike anything the world had ever seen. They were addicted to the growth, and the users were addicted to the interface. There was a mounting tension between the scale of the platform and the sustainability of the spending. They were running a race where the finish line kept moving further away. To keep the engine running, they had to find a way to make you watch things that weren't even good. They had to master the art of the good enough show that you could binge in a single sitting without thinking. The goal moved from find the best movie to keep the screen on at all costs. The shocking reality hit when Netflix insiders admitted that their biggest competitor wasn't HBO or Disney+. Their biggest competitor was sleep. The moment belief in quality cinema collapsed was the moment they realized they were in the business of dopamine. There is an uncomfortable truth that no one at the company wanted to say out loud. If the algorithm is doing its job perfectly, you will never actually finish your to-watch list. The system is designed to keep you in a state of perpetual hunger. It creates a choice paradox, where you are so overwhelmed by perfect options that you just keep scrolling. This reframes the entire story from a movie service to a time capture machine. They aren't selling you stories. They are buying your attention and paying you in cheap thrills. It makes you wonder, if we aren't the ones choosing the stories we consume, who is actually writing the script of our lives? Who do you think is actually responsible for the binge-watching epidemic? Is it the engineers who built the trap, or the viewers who refuse to look away? There are a few powerful lessons we can take away from the rise of the Netflix machine. First, data is more honest than people. If you want to understand a market, don't ask people what they want. Watch what they do when they think no one is looking. Smart people missed this because they trusted surveys and focus groups, while Netflix trusted the raw clicks. Second, the interface is often more important than the product. Netflix won not because they had the best movies, but because they had the best path to play. They removed every friction point, like the next episode button that triggers automatically, until watching was easier than turning off the TV. Third, every strength has a hidden cost. The same algorithm that makes life convenient also creates a bubble that limits our perspective. We can spot this early in other tech companies by looking at how they handle suggestions. If a platform starts making choices for you, they aren't your assistant. They are your curator. These ideas apply far beyond just streaming. They are the blueprint for the modern attention economy. If you enjoy these deep dives into the hidden strategies of the business world, you'll find a lot more value in our upcoming breakdowns. We're constantly looking for the next story that explains how the world really works. Subscribe and hit the bell notification button now, so you're the first to know when we uncover the next secret. More stories like this are already in the works.